Hi guys, this is Daniel Alexander Cannon here on the Supernatural Show. We're back after a little hiatus. I had a couple of days there where I wasn't feeling too good. Had a little bit of vertigo going on. I wonder if y'all guys are experiencing any of this kind of stuff. I take the privilege of saying Shannon's been having some migraines all of a sudden, and so it kind of all hit at the same time. So we kind of took a few days off, but we're back. We're not 100%, but we're here, and we're gonna do a little studying and looking. I see all y'all guys in the comments, and I appreciate y'all guys being here. What in the supernatural's going on, Shannon?
Well, I did hear that we had quite the CME yesterday, which could be a good part of why some of us are experiencing migraines and issues. It's called the cannibal CME because it actually consumed two other CMEs as it was coming in to hit the earth. So that might be why, we're all a little sensitive to things. And I do believe that it actually may have caused a big giant earthquake too. There was a 7.6 I heard last in the Philippines, and they were expecting a tsunami, which I haven't heard an update on if that had happened or not, but I know Japan and parts of the Philippines were being evacuated.
Yeah, it's interesting how the sun has the ability to affect so many things, and of course, it's a major player in our world, as I like to say. It's a major player in our world, and how it affects everything, And the moon has its effects as well, like maybe the moon being full, and then other things about the moon affecting, because it's well known that the moon has major effects on female reproductive cycles and things like that as well. And we certainly like to talk about that kind of stuff. But today, actually, we're here. We're going to be talking about, we're going to look at the fact that inside your head, now, if you're new here, this is going to be new, but I'm going to kind of give a brief roll up so that you can kind of understand. You know that if you've read much in the Bible or not before, it talks about a third temple being built, and Christ in the Bible said that he would build a temple without hands, meaning that he would do it in 3 days. And that would be a temple built that didn't use the hands to build a temple. Then what could that temple possibly be? Well, I'm here to tell you that many places in the Bible that says that you are the temple, that we are the temple. But I'm here to prove it to you. Now, some of you have seen some of this before, but some of you haven't. We've got new subscribers coming on all the time. So we're going to kind of briefly cover over a couple of things, and then we're going to go into actually looking at the human brain, because I've shown you that you have the arc within your head, within your forehead. It's right between your eyes and your forehead, between the eyes in Golgotha, which is very accurate and symbolic for the head. Golgotha was where Christ was crucified at, and where he actually, through that sacrifice, rebuilt the temple in 3 days without hands. And Golgotha is a place in Israel where it said that Christ was crucified, and it sits in a place that's out of rock that looks like stone, rock that looks like a skull, and it even has a spot that looks like two eyes. And where the Ark of the Covenant was located at, according to Ron Wyatt, was that what his name was? Wyatt, right? Yeah, Ron Wyatt. He went there and was allowed to do some exploration and even come across the blood that was found there, where it dripped down through the rock that had been split open, and it resealed itself, which is the area of your forehead right here. And so it also has the image of two eye sockets in the rocks there, which are the two eyes, which is where the Holy of Holies, where Christ was crucified. Let me share my screen so you guys can see kind of what I'm talking about here. This is the bone that's in your forehead that I've shown a number of you a number of times. This part of the bone right here is called the crista galli. This is a bone by itself. It is a porous bone, meaning that it is not solid, hard like your femur or a rib or something like that. It is a porous type bone, and I'll go more into that in a minute. But where this all started at was discovering the crista galli. You know, the galley in the boat, because you are looking at the ark here. You're looking at a boat, or the image and symbolism of a boat, because you are a vessel. But the crista galli, I'll click on it again here. The galley is a place in the boat where something hangs out, or many things hang out. And what hangs out in this galley? The crista, the Christ, hangs out in this galley. This is the place, the location in this area here is where God exists. The fire, the light exists within you. And when you think about the ark, you think of the Ark of the Covenant. You think of Noah's Ark. You think of all the things related to that. But you also, if you look at this, oops, my screen kind of does this every once in a while. It should fix itself in a second. Don't know if y'all guys can see it, but it goes white. There we go. We're back. Okay. So if we position this correctly here, you can see that you have a crucifix right here, have a cross with a veil hanging on it. Now, a veil is something that is not a solid wall. It's porous. It's porous. This bone is porous. As you can see, it has lots of dents and little holes in it, and the bone itself is porous, as well as the ports that it has in it. And my screen's tripping out again a little bit. All right. Sometimes they don't like it when I do these kind of shows, but anyways. So it's porous. You know, you can see all the ports that are on the boat, just like that are on Noah's Ark. If you pull up an image of Noah's Ark, you'll see that there are these ports that are on most boats. Actually, you have the ports that run down the center of the boat. And this is exactly what you see here in the bone that is between your eyes. It's called the ethoid bone. Okay. And you can click on different areas here and it'll give you the different names for it. Okay. And this is the area in the head where the brain has actual nerves that come down through these ports. And I'm going to show you that to you here in a minute. There's nerves that go down through here, and they hang out right down here, where this is the passageway where if you went and got one of those swabs up the nose, this is the passageway up the nose. Matter of fact, if I turn it around this way, it's more accurate. Right up in here where they were trying to stick those swabs. And they wanted to, they wanted to, this thing's a little touchy sometimes. They wanted to rub it on this area under here, which has those nerves that come down through. And they wanted to deposit what I believe is a self-replicating crystalline material that was on the tips of that cotton that they had on that stick that they stuck up in here, because they wanted to get it right up in there where those nerves are at. They wanted to access the ark, is what they're trying to do. The ark that is within you, the spark, the spark ark, the ark that is within you, the literal light of God that gives you connection with your Father in heaven. Now, some of you already know that this exists within you. Some of you don't. Some of you have seen the videos where I've shown that the ark actually looks like this. And if you look at Look at most boats in general. They'll have the rudders in the back like this. They'll have the sails up on the boat. This is going to be your sails. This is the lower set of sails. Your forehead, the bone, actually represents the upper set of sails. And of course, this is the rod or the staff that runs up that the set of sails hang on. Okay. So it all started out by discovering that the ark itself is in your forehead. Okay. And you're welcome to jump in anytime, Shannon, and with anything you feel led to say, of course. And also, say what?
Is that I'm good? I'm just listening.
Okay. Also, on right below that bone, you have the sphenoid bone, which is part of the arc system. It is in the image of a butterfly. It has a set of greater wings. This is a bone that sits right behind the other bone I just showed you. They literally are a butt to each other. Okay. And it is the monarch butterfly or the monarch programming that they've learned about. It has to do with this butterfly and why this is here and why it's in the image of a butterfly. Or you could say this is even in the image of a cherubim, like it talks about in the Bible. And what we're wanting to do is, since we have this knowledge, we want to continue the knowledge, and we want to, because there's something that is sitting right on top of the ark and right on top of the mercy seat, where God in the tabernacle showed himself. And he showed himself typically to one person back in those days. And in Noah's case, was it Noah, Shannon, that he was the only one that was allowed to go in there?
Oh, you mean the tabernacle? That would be Moses and Aaron. It might have been Aaron specifically, but.
But anyways, the point is that you're the only one in your tabernacle, in your temple, because that's ultimately what we're talking about, because the human body is in the image of the temple. It is the third temple that Christ created without hands in 3 days. And so we want to understand it further. So we're wanting to look at the brain and some different images of the brain and see what we can discern. I'm doing this with you live because I haven't really looked at it much, but we want to see what there is to be learned, and we're learning it together, basically, is what we're doing here. So this is one 3D model of the brain itself, okay? And this might not be the best one for showing where the crystal galley and everything sits. This model might work possibly better because we can go in right through the forehead here, and I can show you the ports that are on the bottom of the ethmoid bone that are right there with the crystal galley. We can actually go right in. Yep.
A quick little interjection, kind of a question, something to contemplate. Speaking of the high priest, because it was only the high priest who was allowed in that specific area in the tabernacle, which of course Jesus Christ is our true high priest. But you remember the breastplates of crystals and stones that they had to wear? I wonder if those have some relation into what is within this area of our brain, if it's tied to that in any way, shape, or form. Just kind of like throwing that question out.
That is excellent, Shannon. And yes, it will. I can guarantee you it will. It was all, there was not one detail that was in the description of all of that that does not play into what we're doing right here in revealing the third temple that is within all human beings upon this earth right now. And it ultimately is a matter of who the master is, the high priest that exists in this temple. Who is the high priest? Who is the Father? Who is the God that exists with you in your temple that you have here? And but yeah, the descriptions of, like you said, the crystals and all that, we're going to find them right in here. We might not find them in this video, but we're going to find them. It's all going to map out because it has already so far. And I know how Father works, that not one of his words falls short of what is exactly supposed to be. Now, you do have to make sure you understand the exact meaning of the words that you're reading in English, because they were written in Hebrew or Greek. You got to make sure you understand them. So you got to define them in Hebrew and Greek and then study them and how they were used. And it's a process, but it is doable. But that is a fantastic question, Shannon. And yeah, we will find that. What I did here was I just went going just inside of this, because I don't think, does it give me any ability to remove these bones like on some of the other things. And I didn't see anything that would let me do that earlier when I was looking at this one, because it'd be nice if you could do that. Geometry, material channels. Yeah, I don't see anything unlike the other one that would allow me to remove the bones. But because we want to see the nerve structure, and we want to see the brain structure, and we're wanting to find the throne. Okay, we basically have, but we want to be able to prove it, and we basically have, but we want to go further. Because why? Because we want to know more, and we want to be able to show the world this. Okay, so let's see if I can ease right in here again and see if I can show you what's just on the other side of this bone. Okay. What you're looking at right here on the right, let me see if I can move it over just a little bit. You see those nerves coming down through up in there, Shannon? Those are coming through the portals in the ethmoid bone. Those are the portals up in there. And this, of course, this is a artistic rendition. This is not exactly how it looks. This is a image of, similar to kind of thing. Okay. So, but this is that area. This is the ethmoid bone right back in here. And the crista galli itself, which we may not necessarily be able to see it because there's something blocking it here. See if I can go a little bit closer. The crista galli itself would be right up there. But of course, this is a 3D model, so we can only see so much. But if I come back down right here, we can take a peek down the other side. That's the left side, and that's the right side with the nerves coming through that I was telling you about. That's the brain connecting in to the sinuses back there where they were rubbing those Q-tips. This is the location, the corridor, the narrow path up through your nostrils, that where they stuck it up in here, they'd be rubbing up in this area if they went all the way back like they were instructed to do, with those real long, remember how long some of those were, Shannon, that they were using? Especially in the beginning, they were using those real long ones. They were like a foot long, and they were sticking them way up in there. I'm sure I could pull up videos of them doing it, but this is where they were. This is where they were hitting at, and we want to. Now, I do know about the self-replicating crystalline, which is basically an antenna, because if you're going to build a receiver to receive frequencies through the air, or connection with a god or a fallen god, if you want this person or this being to be able to reconnect with that new sender of information, the new transcender of the information, you need to be able to change this area of the person's receiving system. And I remember thinking about when they were in the tabernacle, in the building of it and all that, and they were talking how they would, and how God spoke about the smells, okay, and they like to always have the what was the word for it, like incense kind of stuff, and certain smells that they would have going in the tabernacle all the time. You know what I'm kind of talking about, Shannon?
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that. It has to do with the things that we don't understand really yet, but we're going to get there, and we're going to understand it. So, but they definitely were up in here trying to damage or change this area. And if you got up a self-replicating crystalline material like a crystal, which is used in most types of radios and communications and things like that, you'll have, and you could get it growing in here and self-replicating. You could then change the channel. You know, change the channel. Ain't a very good change the channel sound, but it's the best I got. But that's part of what they were doing, is looking to change the channel, change your channel, which is not good. And because they're trying to cut off your connection with your Father in heaven, and they want to reconnect you with a false god, a liar god, which is, you're talking about like the system, the beast system, where they gave him a voice and they built him an image, and they did all these things to make it real. And do they have that now? Do they have AI speaking for it? Do they have images of him built and all these things? Of course they do. They're building him the body, and which is very appropriate, because they're building that body of their God, and we're discovering and learning about the body, the image of God, which is within all of us, our own tabernacle. But they want to take over our tabernacle. You see, you have to understand that the human body, your legs are the pillars that are out front of the temple. Jackass and Boaz, I think that's their names. And then your lower body from your neck down is what's called the holy place of the temple. And from right at your neck up into your head is the Holy of the Holies, Holy of Holies. And it's where it's the exact same as the temple. And I've shown this in many videos on Logic Before Authority. And I've talked about it on here numerous times too, but it is where God exists. He shows himself. Everything that it talked about with the temple and with the tabernacle exists within us. Ultimately, that story was written for us to later understand that it's us, that we are the temple. And on the sides of the temple, the holy area, was the priest's quarters that run down, the area where the priests stayed, and they were the ones that did the jobs for the temple, right? The priests these are the arms that hang down on the side. These are the ones that do the work for this temple, the priests. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. I could show an image. I wonder if they've got a 3D image of the temple. That would be interesting. Let's go look, shall we? Let's go. Let's go to Psalm Temple. See if we get lucky. Okay. Solomon's Temple. There's one partial here. Here's another partial. Here's a temple here. There's another image of it. And of course, none of these are going to be exact, but we might have something to look at here that'll show us kind of around what we're talking about. Let's look at, let's see what this is. Because you need to understand these things in order to get to the next class, the next level of understanding, the next serving of manna, the manna bread, the thing that sustains you, the knowledge that continues to, the bread that brings you forth, the bread that you continue to gain. It's the bread from heaven, the manna bread. All right, computer, let's behave here. You refresh the screen and see if that works. My computer I've had it for it's a really good computer. Really fast, has a super fast video card. I don't game, but I could game if I wanted to with it. But what I do is do video editing, of course, and you have to have a super fast video card. This one has it, but I've had it so long it's starting to show its age a little bit. Come on, Mr. Model here. Let me try just opening it again from this tab here. Sorry about this, guys, but I hope you're willing to wait a few moments to see and learn the kind of things that we're learning in this process. This is supernatural knowledge. You know, you can't go to a college and learn this. There's no amount of money you can pay, but you get it free here because Father revealed it to me and has made it clear that I am to show it to everyone, make all things known. What is the problem? What in the supernatural is going on?
AI doesn't like what it is we're trying to show.
He's listening. He or she or it is listening. They're definitely listening. Okay, at least we got this one to come up. Let's see what this one has that we can look at here. Well, it is an example. This is, again, this doesn't ring true to me with some things about it, but what I was talking about, the arms, we're talking about the priest quarters, which would be in this area here. The priest quarters, which would be here. The arms. The Holy of Holies, of course, would be back up the steps, of course. You got to go up the steps, which is the vertebrae up your back and up your neck into your head. Got to go up the steps in order to get there. Not sure that this is going to want me to do it exactly the way I want to do it. Let's see here. Let's see if I come over here and come down and then tip it back. It won't take me down too much. I don't know who designed this, but they need a knot on the head. Let's see here. Let's come at it from a different way. Maybe we can come at it from the back. Let's see if we can go through the wall. Okay. believe we are in the, this looks like the veil, or symbolism for the veil. Looks like the porous portals, the porous area. And then, of course, back out towards the front.
You know, a neat thing to say too, the original tabernacle was designed to be able to move, to travel. It wasn't a permanent structure, the original tabernacle, which you as a human body can move and travel to and fro. So I just thought I'd mention that.
Yeah, it's all connected like that. I just wish this model would work better. Let me see if I can find a better one, because it won't let me do what I want to do. Let's try this one more time. See if it'll load. Come on. You almost got it. It's almost loaded. Now it's supposed to be loaded. Come on. Okay. Let's try, see if we see another one here. This is does not look like a very good model. Let's see if we see another one. We got off of this tangent to try to get to this, but I want to look at the brain some while we're here on this show and try to understand that better. Okay, well, let's try this one here. See if it'll load. And what do you know? This one finally loaded over here. Okay, let's open this up. Let's see. So here we have the two pillars, okay, which is symbolism for your head, okay, and you have the steps going up into the holy area. The holy area is this first area inside of here that we may be able to go into. Yep. Okay. So now you're in the holy area. Whoops. And then this would then take you into the Holy of Holies. Again, going up some more symbolic steps. You're going up the vertebrae within your body and your back and your neck. Have to approach this from weird angles. Okay, we can see a cherubim in there. And we can see an image, a representation of the ark sitting on the floor there. See if I can go beyond the veil, Shannon. See what we see. So here we have the cherubims, or a cherubim. And I wish this thing would let me see this a little better. Let me turn around this way and see if I can come in from the back, kind of like I did with the other one.
I wonder if that skull or the brain thing that you were looking at, the 3D image, if you could remove pieces to get a better look.
Right. Where are we at here? Should be able to go right in right through here. Okay. So we're in the Holy of Holies again. You can see there's another cherubim there, but either I don't know what I'm doing, which much as possible. So there's another cherubim, and then here, there we go. We can kind of see the mercy seat and the side of the ark. Maybe there's a way to control this better. I bet there is. Let's see here if it says anything about it. The control method of it. Okay, not really, but we're in there. We're seeing that what we're talking about, of course, is, hey, Mr. Mouse, let's keep working here. Back out here. We're talking about the temple itself being built in the image of the human body. Symbolically, you have to understand this, symbolically. And if you understand that, then you understand what I'm talking about. But I know if you look at this and you think, well, how is that the image of the human body? Well, you have to understand how symbolism works. It is. But this is a kind of a poor example. Let's see, this one here is another one, but I don't know that it'll be any better. Thank you.
I have seen illustrations that aren't 3D models that do help to pinpoint that a little bit more, but again, I haven't seen it in a 3D model.
Right. Yeah, I think you're right. It might be easier to do it that way, which I could easily pull up probably. Just simply temple. Let's see. It actually ain't that hard to find if you know what words to look for. Spell it wrong, but I think it'll get it. Yeah. Okay, so it's all right there. There you go. There's an example of it. Let's see if this will open up for us. Yeah. So there you have, again, the pillars that are out front. Okay. You have Boaz and Jachin. And you have the holy place, which is the first inner part of the temple. And you have the priest's cells, which are the arms, because they do the work of the master of the temple, the God of the temple, the Father, that shows himself back here in the Holy of Holies. And of course, that's your head. And every single piece about the description of the building of the temple has to do exactly and corresponds with the body, which is the temple, even down to the fingers and just everything. It's really, truly amazing. And I wasn't sure what to do for the show today, and this is always something that I want to continue showing y'all guys. Let's look at a couple of these other models. I'm not sure what we'll see. Boy, my mouse is not my mouse, but my voice is really echoing bad. At least on my side.
Can't tell. Oh, but I could hear myself echo from your. That was weird.
Yeah, it's always nice to throw in some just test 1 2. Test 1 2. Yeah. All right, we're just
underwater sonar.
It ain't too bad. So this is another model of the brain, and we know that the And because of a lack of knowledge, it's like looking at an alien, you know. But I know that obviously a very important part is this area right through here, which is going to contain like the pineal gland and the pine cone, like the pine cone that sits out in front of the. Matter of fact, I think I have that. Let me see here. Yep.
Pine cone that sits out in front of the Vatican.
Yeah, the Vatican. So
Mm-hmm.
they have the knowledge, and they'll put it in symbolism for you to see. If you, I'm going to show you. Let me open this up here. So this is at the Vatican, and of course it's in between, symbolically in between two winged creatures. These are um, uh, starting to say pelicans, but not. What do you call them? The
Peacock.
peacock. Yeah, the peacocks. So they're in between the peacocks. Now notice that there's two men here, and there's a man in the middle. There's two men here, and they're pointing. Both of them are saying, "Look at his head." You see how they're both pointing up here?
Mm-hmm.
You can see that. So they're symbolically saying, this is in the head. Because you have a spot in your head that looks like this. Okay? And let me show you another one here. I'll show you this one. It shows that a little bit better. Now, I don't know what happened to this dude's head here because it almost looks like it's missing. You never know with the Vatican. Lots of truth that people built into those buildings long ago. But then there's as well as deceptions and things that they believe that I don't. Now you can see he's got an image of a head here, of course, with water coming out the mouth. Right below with this peacock, this pine cone up here, and a peacock, two peacocks, which are symbolism basically for the cherubims that are on each side that we've seen. And let's see, I got another one here for you. We're going to keep kind of backing out so show you the symbolism that they've built in here. Now you can see that above you got the peacocks, you got this pine cone like thing, and above it up here you got something else. You know what that's called by chance, Shannon?
What, that particular?
This thing?
No.
But what I would say to notice, or to start noticing, let me pull up the next image and it'll be more obvious.
Well, I will say that I do know that the pineal gland is what is supposed to help connect you into the spirit realm, at least according to the research that I've done.
Right.
And in these days, it seems to be calcified. So they're working really hard to calcify that spot in your brain.
Exactly. Now, symbolism. Okay, so you got the pine cone here representing the pineal gland in the head, and you got the birds on both sides, the winged creatures on both sides, and you have all these portals back here, the portals, and this is inside and under a domed top, like the top of a head. And then, but you have the portals as well. the windows or the portholes showing in that image. Very headlight symbology. Of course, you can find this kind of imagery and stuff like coming out of Egypt and Samaria and stuff with this winged creature, this winged being with a pine cone in his hand. That's what he's holding, is the pine cone in his hand, in this hand. And then he has the little bag they carry, which one day it's going to come to me exactly what that bag represents and what symbolically what it represents. Because the pine cone doesn't represent exactly a pine cone. It's telling you something. It's all about symbolism. Now, if you back off a little bit more, this is what you see. You have this thing here. Now, Shannon, does that look like an orb to you?
It does. It looks like an orb.
Does it look like a mechanical wheel within a wheel?
It does. Yeah.
Does it look like it could be representing a spirit, like a spirit orb or an angel orb, a wheel within a wheel, Ezekiel's wheel, the bright white and round all about, but in this case it's coated in what looks like a gold-like material. But this thing has been damaged, has it not? Or it appears that it has damage.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
So is it possible that they're saying here that this is representing God, or the light of God, or the orb of God that exists within you being damaged? They're showing you it's a wheel within a wheel. They're talking about Ezekiel's wheel. They're talking about a spirit being. They're talking about an angel. Just like Ezekiel's wheel, the wheel within a wheel. This is one way that you could symbolically show that. And of course, it's right here in front of this thing that looks like a head, a cranial top, with a pineal or pine cone sitting in the middle of it, with the birds, the symbolism for the greater wings and lesser wings that the peacock has, of course. It's like a cherubim. And let's see, I think I have one more here. Now this is a bigger view of the court, the overall court where this thing sits. And of course, it's in the center of several concentric circles inside of the center of some could say a cross, or some could say an X. You never know at the Vatican what ultimately their meaning is, because of.
I feel like there's a transhumanism type spin on that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's look at something again. You might be onto something there. Well, they do want to combine the clay with the iron, right?
Okay.
And here we have a symbolic spirit orb representing the spirit orb, or your spirit, your soul, is what this is representing, but yet they're showing it as being made out of iron. And see all these little ribs in here?
Mm-hmm.
They look like looks almost like you're looking inside of a musical instrument, like a piano.
I'm gonna say piano. Mm-hmm.
You see that?
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about symbolism and the meaning behind it here, why they did this. And you're saying trans. Well, they want this. This reminds me also of like the Borg kind of thing, where they want to assimilate you and assimilate and control you, control your soul, control you. See, guys, this show is unscripted. We don't script. We just do what we do, and we hope that y'all guys uh, enjoy being on this journey with us to try to figure some of these things out. This is another view of that. Definitely, this is definitely symbolic for basically the soul, the orb of energy that exists within you, and of course, them coating it in what looks like gold or copper, of course, would be very appropriate because the Ark of the Covenant was coated in gold. It's because gold, just like the wood that was under the gold on the ark, was acacia wood, and acacia wood is unique because it has electrical and magnetic properties. You can look that up if you want to, and of course the gold does too. And the word ark is a word related to a lot of things, but electrical or um, energy is definitely tied to that word.
And our computers don't work without gold.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I can pretty much, all of the ancient Aztec, Mayan, they were all obsessed with gold. Gold seems to be quite a unique element. And I've also heard that it's very possible that pure gold, like pure gold, can be see-through, but maybe what the throne of God and the firmament is really all made from is pure gold. So there's definitely some special element in the realm of heaven with gold.
Right, absolutely. And there are, I would suspect that we're going to find out. I already know that there is iron that exists within the ethmoid bone that is the ark within us. And it exists for sure. It's said that it exists within the area of the Crystal Galley in here, which it connects us like a compass and acts like a compass. Like if you were on a boat or a vessel or a ship, you would be lost without a connection, a way to know your way, to know the path. You would be lost without it. And that has a lot to do with about what Shannon said earlier about them trying to calcify and trying to shut down these natural God-given abilities that we have. And part of the process of gaining these abilities back is finding your way to the narrow path. I'm hunting it with you, but you have to try to find your way to the narrow path. You can't, no one can just turn in one day and say, well, I got saved, so I'm on the narrow path. No, it's a process. That's my opinion. That's my belief. It's a process. Yes, you can be saved, but then you've got to hunt for that narrow path.
And be refined by the fire of God.
Yep. Oh, Shannon, that's interesting you mentioned that. I want to show you something. Most of you know that I happen to have a rod of iron
Mm-hmm.
that I keep right with me. Whew, it's kind of hot in here. Anyways, okay. So, in order for someone in their life to ever even stand a chance, probably to find their way onto the narrow path, okay, how is that person made that finds the narrow path or finds the rod of iron in the right hand? They have to go into the fire, don't they? That's how this is made.
Yep.
There was someone who made a comment the other day, and I thought they were messing with me, and they might have been a little bit, but it's okay because it made me realize, how do you make a rod of iron? It's an attribute. How do you make it? You make it in the pit. You make it in the fire. That's how it's made. You have to go. Typically, you're going to have something prod you, and cause you to become uncomfortable in life and find out why that things aren't what they seem. And once you get that prodding, sometimes it beats you over the head. It, sometimes even you have to go into the fire. I've been in that fire, and it's hot, baby. I'm telling you, it is hot. But when you come out of that fire, especially if you go in there and you find, sometimes in the most hottest of fires, you can find faith, and you can find confidence, and you can find a rod of iron in your hand when you come out of it. Hallelujah. Whew. And for those of y'all that have been through the fire, or maybe you're in the fire now, pick up your rod of iron. No, it's not about this one. No, it's not about having this. It is about the attributes of the rod of iron and seeking that narrow path that the rod of iron represents. It's seeking the attributes of the rod of iron and understanding why. There's an old saying that goes something like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, kind of thing. And there's actually a lot of truth to that. Because our Father, because He loves us so much, He will allow us to burn our hand on the stove in order to learn a great lesson in our life. He will allow us to set our own house on fire or set someone else's house on fire so that we have to go into the fire to save what we really love. Whew. And sometimes in a crazy way, you can look back and thank God for setting me on fire. Because all that's bad isn't necessarily bad. And all that's good isn't necessarily good. Just because it tastes sweet in the mouth doesn't mean it's going to be sweet in the stomach. Trust me, I know this. No matter what situation you're in, how bad it is, celebrate it. Grab your rod. And just know that you're in the fire for a reason. God's allowing it to turn you into one of these, like he's had to do me, because I was a rebellious SOB.
Well, I went through my own rebelliousness too, and I've very much so been put through the fire. And I'm being refined every day into beautiful gold and silver, so I can approach him someday. I'm still unworthy, but I praise Jesus every day because he has sacrificed his life so I may be able to go through this process and be refined.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so many times people think, why did God allow this to happen or that to happen, or how could God allow this to happen to me? Your body is just the vessel, guys. It isn't you. Over time, I've been trying to show you this and prove it to you. Your body is just the vessel. It's just the boat. It's just our vehicle. The real you one day is going to transform and bloom in heaven. A transformation that would be like an ugly monarch butterfly worm or grub changing, going into a cocoon and coming out manifesting into a beautiful butterflower. If God can make that happen for a butterfly, he can make it happen for us, and he will, and he does. All he wants is to hear from you and for you to seek him and talk to him and learn better every day. He ain't expecting no one to be perfect right out the gate. He wants us just to keep trying. He wants us to each day take a step forward in faith. Yes, sometimes the step forward is into the dark. But if you have faith, you'll step on the next step because you know it's there, because Father's with you and he loves you. He must love me because I've done some really dumb things in my life. But he saved my life over and over and kept me here to do this. And the same thing goes for Shannon. The same thing goes for you guys listening. I know some of you have it really hard. This is only temporary. You get to bloom soon. I hope y'all guys understand. And I appreciate y'all guys going along this path with myself and with Shannon and trying to understand and discern all these things so that we don't take this old world so seriously and all the things that are going on, good and bad, so seriously. Because at the end of the day, we've already won. No matter what they do with this vessel or this body, I've already won. Because I now know the truth about things. And I continue to seek more truth every day. But I now know the truth about things. And I'll spend the rest of my life seeking other truths. And I'll be here sharing it with y'all guys, everything I learned. And y'all guys can share what you learn with us. You can do it in the comments. And if you want to, you can do it on our website, TheSupernaturalShow website. You can share with us and share with others what you know and what you've learned. You get to share your music with us, your song, your testimony, And if you'd like to share it on the show, you can do that as well. All of you that have submitted a request to come on the show and tell your stories need to check your voice, check your texts, because all of you have been texted as of today, inviting you all on to schedule you on just like I promised I would. Even though I read your stories, now you get to come on, and now we're going to not only tell that story, but tell any other supernatural happenings in your life, including your testimony. You're going to be able to come on and do that. So check your text messages, because if you didn't get one, send me one. And the number that you can use for the moment still is 843-384-3343. Send me a text message there. Soon, I'm going to be announcing a new system of texting where if you're a member of the website, I'll be texting you, say, 5 minutes before the show goes live. That's fixing to start taking place, just like I told you I would. I do my best to keep my promises and my word these days. It's important to me. So, but if you'll text me, one, you can just text the word supernatural if you want to be added to my contact database. And which means you'll probably get a message from me in the future or whatever. Or if you want, you can go over to the website and sign up. There's basically truly 3 levels of membership at the website. Okay? There's one where you just go there and sign up, the first stage, which is just fill out the sign up form. And that will give me your contact information. It's important that you add your phone number in there, so that way I can, if I needed to, I can send you an emergency text if something was going on worthy. But more importantly, I can send you a text and let you know when the show's starting, or give you updates about it, so we can do what a family should do, which is to communicate. And but soon I'm going to have another number that I'll be announcing, where you're going to be able to call me directly. Either me or my assistant, Kim, or maybe even Shannon will be taking your phone call and helping you with any little problems you might have. Probably most of it I'll be doing, but all of us are going to help out a little bit, I imagine. And we also have our sister Adrienne, which is going to be joining the Supernatural team as well. And she's going to be helping with a lot of the back end work that, well, it's not on camera kind of stuff, but there's a lot of it I need help with. And if you have ability and you want to help us with this, there's various different things you can do. You could be a guest blogger. You can do like Adrienne and volunteer some time to help me with some of the back end work that needs to be done and keeping up with because the website is it's a lot, demanding. And I really like to spend my time doing research and discerning the Bible. But I have to still keep the website going and stuff, because that's our connecting point, you might say. And if you're new here, the website is TheSupernaturalShow. Let me get one of my buttons here. Out somewhere. Where'd it go? Oh, yeah, there we go. TheSupernaturalShow. And it is where you can go and submit your story, whether it be your supernatural testimony or something that happened in your life. You can go there and submit it. And what we do is we'll read it here on the show. And there's an option there that if you pick it and choose yes, it's going to notify me you want to come on the show with me and Shannon right here in the studio. And what we'll do is have you here and discuss it with you as a group on live here on the Supernatural Show. And if you want to go to the second level in the website where you have access to all the group chats and a number of other things, you can sign up, and it's basically a way that you can further support the work that we're trying to do here. It's not about the money, but yeah, we do have bills associated with running this type of ministry. And those bills aren't free, and then we have light bill and food and things like that. This is a way, if you sign up on a second level membership, you'll get some additional capability on the website. And you also have the ability, if you choose, to sign up for a third level or optional second level, which is the Beyond the Veil, which is where we record additional content of us working together in the background that y'all guys wouldn't normally see. And we upload it onto the area of the website called the Beyond the Veil. And there's some additional other types of videos and content that go there sometimes too. But like meetings that me and Shannon, and maybe me and Shannon and Dan, or maybe I'm just working on the website and I record it while I'm working on it and explain to y'all guys what I'm doing and why I'm creating this and when I'm planning on releasing it and all these kind of things. It's stuff that's going on behind the curtain of this YouTube thing and this Rumble thing and all these channels that we're broadcasting live on right now, which we're up to about 7 or 8 right now, but I'm having a hard time with a couple of them keeping them running right. But we'll get there. I'll get it working a lot better. So you can come and sign up on the website for the free membership, which is just sign up for the first thing where you fill out your information. And then you'll have a profile on there that you can log into and put in your stuff. Like maybe you have a YouTube channel. Maybe you have whatever. You can sign up and put it in there. And start communicating with other people on the website. Because there is at least one, actually there's several groups where you can communicate with every member on the website. That's even included with the free membership. The $3.99 gives you access to communicate with everybody on about 20 different group topics, discussion topics. And Beyond the Veil just gives you more behind the scenes content. You get to decide where you put your money at and whether you think this is entertainment or not. Unfortunately, it's not very entertaining. But what you will find here is knowledge, and you'll find truth. And you'll find some people that are trying to do the right thing. And we appreciate your support of that. And the website and the memberships is how you can contribute to support it so that we can continue to grow it. And at some point where it'll maybe even get big enough that it'll financially take care of the things that we need. Difference between need and want, but at least everything we need in our lives. And we would appreciate it if y'all guys would help us with that. So, yeah, ain't it right, Shannon?
Right. And again, knowing that you're not alone and that there are more people in the body of Christ who are like-minded and have really great information to share, and to be able to share each other's stories, our testimonies, and have that kindredship. It's also really awesome.
Or if you need prayers, or even if you need more than prayers, as a member of the website, I'm setting up ways for other members of the website, your brothers and sisters in Christ, to be able to help y'all guys each other out. And that's already happened in a number of cases.
Yeah.
So you said Not Alone. That reminds me of a song that someone named Shannon wrote for the Supernatural Show. And on the way out today, I think we're going to play that again. Is that okay, Shannon?
That's okay.
All right. Well, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for today. I know we didn't make it too far into the human brain part, but we will. We will continue. I put some links below if you want to go and look at the 3D models and stuff and run searches for other kinds of 3D models. You can look under these videos and you'll find a link, okay? Or on the website I'm not sure if I named it the Christogallia or the Body of Christ, one of the two. There's a group on there that's for that, and I'll be adding more links in there as well. So, with that being said, guys, we love you. Our Father in heaven loves you, and He's hoping to hear from you soon if you haven't talked to Him in a while. But we'll see you again next time here on the Supernatural Show.
If you feel so alone, just know you are right at home. 'Cause we're here to share, and all you have to bear. Jesus brought us all here together. Everything is in His hands. Don't you worry, we're here for you. You're not alone. Welcome to the body and soul of Jesus Christ.
Come back and join us next time to find out what in the supernatural is going on. Please like, share, and subscribe. And we love you guys. We'll see you again next time.